tell me, like, we know basically we built the business so that you can just go out and network like crazy and you love it, right? And tell us like how that's benefited yourself and the company down the line.
I think one of the core activity as a CEO or business owner can do is networking, but often we're so caught up in the business that we can't. Networking is a way to generate income, and it's the fastest way because people meet you, they know you, the trust and the rapport is just increased to the next level. One of the best way to grow your business in any stage is networking. Hey guys, it's Lynn Finetti here, and today I have my managing director, Richard Fu, to ask me questions all around networking because he's starting to network himself. Going out to network more, and he's also amazed at my networking skills, which I didn't realize I have because I kind of do it so naturally. And so I thought I'll just get him to be the mentee today and ask me these questions so that you could learn as well.
And look, like you'll look at Lynn now and she's like, oh, bubbly, butterfly, social butterfly everywhere, right? Everywhere she goes, everyone knows, everyone she's memorable as well, right? On that end. But you weren't always like this, right? Like when you first started, talk us through that. Like you didn't believe you were a great networker to start with, and what changed? Right? So
number one thing you need to know about me is I was a shy kid. I was born and raised in Vietnam. I was always the kid that the parents would say, your child needs to put her hand up. She's so shy. And so I was actually afraid of people, afraid of stepping up. But it just over the years, I realized that it wasn't serving me. So I just tried my best to keep stepping up. And now this includes networking. So I understand what it's like to go out and network and you're kind of like, who do I talk to? And your heart's shaking and what do people think of me? And so with practice and just meeting people, I became, good at it. And I would say it's a lot easier for me than actually, presenting on stage or, even doing these videos. Nowadays, people think I'm a natural at that, but it also took time. Now, with networking though, the thing I love is that you can actually not have to be the smartest, the best. You just have to be the nicest and friendliest and care about people. And so I found it a lot easier for me to learn to network well by just actually loving people and being curious about them.
Yeah, and so talk about that because I think that's something that most people don't think about. It's like old me, right? Run my own business. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go network, gotta get leads, whatever, right? But you go in differently, right? Talk us through like what's going through your mind when you're about to I got another networking event I got to go to, right? So what are you thinking about?
Yeah. So I am so proud that the other day I was sending out my birthday invitation and I was inviting a friend who was actually a client that I met at a workshop or training back like 12 years ago when I first started my outsourcing journey. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm still friends with him. And that's because the way I saw networking or connecting with people as a long-term relationship. When I come in, I meet you, I don't think about, okay, are you my target audience? Give you my business card and, oh no, if you're not my target audience, well, I'm not going to talk to you. I actually try to get to know people as a person. And so whether or not we have anything aligned or we can do any business now, it doesn't matter. It's actually me taking note whether you're a good person for me to want to actually keep in contact. And then over the years, whether I'm in Melbourne or Sydney, we would try to catch up with each other, whether it's emails or phone calls. And it's still like any relationship. Some relationships like that last because we both care. He also doesn't see me as, the person I met at the workshop and who cares. He actually saw me as you're so likable. And so we, most importantly, we didn't just talk about business. We talked about life. We talked about his relationship. I've witnessed him going through marriages, divorce and all that. And we were there along the way, as a friend.
So then tell me about that. I'm sure there's people you met and you're like, we don't click so well, right? How do you get over that? Because sometimes it's just like, oh my God, it's the cringe moment, right? Like, oh, we don't get along. It's like, do you have an exit strategy sometimes? And it's just me thinking for myself, right? Like I run into those moments. I'm like, maybe it's me, right? Who's just a bad networker.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you do in those moments there?
Sure, of course. So I walk into a room and maybe I come across some people who started talking and it just doesn't flow. They're just, I don't know, whatever's there, it doesn't flow. But there's just so many ways to get out of it by going, I'm just going to go to the toilet or, I'm just going to go grab a drink and it's fine. They're not going to stand there and wait for you. Don't worry. Everyone will just start to blend in and start to look at the next person they talk to. So you just go and continue with your own thing. You don't have to be fake and try your best to just stand there and, but the other thing that I would also say is I don't just go there and try to meet as many people as possible. So if I come across someone really amazing where I just got along so well, I rather spend all that time going deeper with them and really enjoy my time with them and almost find a buddy than to worry about, you know, running around trying to meet as many people.
So then talk us through, like, people who are watching this probably thinking, is there a structure that you go in with, right? Like, you know, you go, hi, my name's Lynn, da 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 da. Where do you go from there? Like, what's your flow from there?
So imagine going into a networking event. I would, of course, choose someone to go up with. And, you know, whether it's one person or two or three, it doesn't really matter. I think you just follow your heart. You don't stand there and assess. I think the moment you're doing that, you're already creating anxiety or some sort of judgment, but you just go for wherever your body and heart's leading. And you go there, men or women, it doesn't matter, but you say hi with enthusiasm. And I think one thing that makes people remember me is I'm just so excited. I'm just like, hi, you know. But imagine if someone's like, hey, I'm Lynn Panetti. It's like, it's so flat and it's just boring. It makes people, I don't know, won't remember you. But I'm actually so excited and I'm like, hi, how are you? You know. And so then I would say the questions like, I'm Lynn, what's your name? And you let them talk. And most of the time I like to ask a lot of questions so that it's all about them. Some good ones would actually go, how about you? I want to know about you. And, you know, we start to have a flowing conversation. But sometimes people forget and they just love that I'm asking them questions. But I don't mind. I actually want it to, you know, allow them to have that platform to share. And most importantly, they're going to feel like, wow, you really listened. I felt like I could open up to you. And one thing I do is I don't just talk about business. I try to find something that we could build rapport with, you know. I remember going to this really bad party. Actually, it was like a bikie party. I'm going to share a really funny story. And he's a bikie. And instead, I should have been scared, but I saw him as a person. I wasn't scared. I didn't feel like he was like some gangster. I saw him as a guy. And I remember him going, oh, my name is Kim. I go, like, short for Kimberly, you know? So I would tease him. And I remember him laughing and really see that I have a sense of humor, that I don't look at him like he's superior. And so when I'm out in business networking, doesn't matter if you're the president of anybody or you're the director of certain thing, I literally talk to you as if you're my friend. And then with that kind of treatment to them, they also respect me back as, you know, because if someone's just like, oh, who are you? And they can just feel that intimidation that I think it's a different treatment. And then it's just knowing how to joke around and not take it serious, finding someone to build rapport on, you know. And if I met another Asian, I'd be like, oh, I get to meet my Asian friend here, you know. And so be brave to share kind of like things that that you shouldn't share on the first meeting, because when you do that, they get surprised. Wow, you are so transparent and authentic and brave.
So talk about that, right? So you say share something that you normally wouldn't share. Yeah. Like, what's an example?
Okay, so just on Friday, we went to a training and there's these girls I've actually only met for the first time. And I went to the toilet and I said, oh my God, do not go into the toilet right now. And thank God no one was there because I was actually really loud as well, you know? And so she was just like, oh my God, you are so different. You are so real, right? It's like, I didn't ask for those details, but I was just like, it's real. And it's what I would say to my family and friends. And I just, when I say that, because I don't say it because I want to make them laugh, I just say it because it's so real. And I realize that that's kind of my kryptonite or whatever power that makes people feel that they can build rapport with me really fast.
And I think you mentioned something like, you know, you come in, you're like, boom, like this is the ball energy. But I think it's important to highlight for people listening is that's you, right? So go be you. So like when I go network, I'm not going to be like, hey, it's Richard here. Right? Like, it's just, you know, you just be yourself more so. And I think that's the thing here for that you want to highlight. Is
so I
don't
would
be
say,
ashamed to be you.
Yeah,
right?
and I would say Richard is introverted, but when you meet him in person, he's got energy, meaning not like crazy energy like me, but still more energy. You know, like you can still put in the effort to show people that you want to be here, that you do want to talk to them. Like, oh yeah, like you're showing your curiosity. You know, it's not about like loud or, you know, crazy gestures. It's actually showing that you truly want to be there rather than kind of like, you know, being flat. That's all.
And I think it's all about that curiosity that you mentioned, because if you rock up and you only want to talk about you and then you're waiting for people to ask you questions, then it's like people kind of feel that, right, coming through. And so, I love it. And then last thing, like, you know, you meet a lot of people, I mean, like, I probably don't do this as well as you, right? But like, how do you close it, right? Where you're like, hey, you really, let's hang out more. Like, what do you,
Yes.
it's like asking a girl for a number, right? Like, how do you close it,
Yes.
right? For you, I mean, I love to know how you do
Yeah.
that.
So the way I see it is I'm not trying to close a sale. I'm actually feeling like if we don't exchange detail, how am I going to find you again? Right? So I come from a place of like, I actually want to know how I'm going to connect with you. So I'm like, hey, what are you on? Are you on Facebook or LinkedIn? And they're like, sure, yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. So I'll try to add them on LinkedIn. And if I feel like we're a lot more personal, like I'm feeling like we can actually even be friends, and I know that they wouldn't feel weird. So so there's kind of like two level. One is where purely like I feel like we could do some business together, or I just want to know and make sure that we stay in the same circle. I would exchange LinkedIn contacts, right? And everyone's always happy to, and I feel like at least I have a way to remember them. But then if it's some people that I'm like, wow, we're just in that next stage, I'm like, are you on WhatsApp? And we exchange phone number. And so I feel like I'm not ashamed to go, hey, how do we connect from here? What do you have? And so people are pretty open to it. And I would say I've witnessed and I've been to a lot of networking events. I don't see it happen as much. Most people are really shy. Most people feel like, it's like asking a girl for her number.
Exactly. That's why I'm bad at it. And that's why I don't do it enough, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
And so just remember, it's not like you're asking someone to go on a date. So it shouldn't be that scary. It's actually reminding yourself that, hey, I actually want to know how I'm going to meet this person again or find a way to contact. And what if you bump into someone that needs to meet them and you're just going to save yourself time? And
Tell me, Lynn, like, we know basically we built the business so that you can just go out and network like crazy and you love it, right? And tell us like how that's benefited yourself and the company down the line.
I think one of the core activity as a CEO or business owner can do is networking, but often we're so caught up in the business that we can't. Networking is a way to generate income, and it's the fastest way because people meet you, they know you, the trust and the rapport is just increased to the next level. But most of the times we don't have the fortunate opportunity to actually spend time doing it. But that's why I love that we've been able to build the business to run without me, and now I get to do networking, which is fun for me. I love meeting people, and it's just automatically generate trust and rapport out in the marketplace. Whether or not that person ends up being a client or not, they just remember you as someone that cares, that is lovely, or that does has expertise in an area that someone that they know that they need. And so then you end up building a really great brand for yourself. So I believe that the goal as a business owner is to remove yourself from the business. So the only thing you do is actually becoming more like a brand ambassador for your business. So when people think of you, they think of your business and they think of what you do.
And then I think the other thing is like it makes it less pressure for you when you go out. It's not like, I gotta get like 5 leads tonight, right? And that type of stuff is just go out, have fun. And I think you don't carry that pressure for yourself, right? Of like, gotta go make this networking thing make money, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So long gone are the days of like bring all your business cards in there and then try to give out as much business cards as possible in exchange. I think most times you don't even have to carry one anymore. It's actually just exchange it on those virtual platforms, social media. But other than that, just have fun. And even if you end up talking to 1 or 2 versus there was 100 people there, it doesn't matter. It's actually the quality of the relationship. So anyway, last question for you. How are you feeling about this new journey of you going out networking a lot? So not only is he running the company, he's also stepping up to also get out there, because we've both joined an organization called EO, and it allows us to meet a lot of other entrepreneurs. And so how are you feeling on your journey?
Like I said to you, Lynn, and this is the thing that probably helps me a lot come out more, is one, your support of like, and I made it very clear, I've done this stuff where I try to be the energy ball and everyone remember me, right? And that wasn't me. And, I said, I'm just going to be me, Lynn. I'm going to be real honest with how I want to be. And you said, that's fine, right? And then I said, the other thing is, Lynn, you're the spearhead. You go in, you crack it, right? And then I come in behind with like, the army and stuff like that. And then it's like, leveraging your platform. So, hey, go to these EO events and I'm like, hey, Lynn is my EO. And then like, oh yeah, Lynn, right? And it's like, that works better for me as an introvert, right? So it's like, it's like I don't have to do a cold intro of who I am and then explain what I do and all of that. And so for me, that's how I want to do it, which is more like, I'm not as brave as you to go out all cold. I'm trying to be better at it. But, if you can figure out like who's the organizer for the events that you go to, get them to introduce you to other people. And, that's what I appreciate more. So that's a warmer way for me to come in.
Yeah, right? I think that's a really great point. That's a great transition as a newcomer to come in with a buddy, someone that's more experienced and you kind of, just learning on the job and getting comfortable. And eventually you'll be able to do it without me there. You feel comfortable. And like I said, all these skill sets that I've learned and I know anyone could learn it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions or comments about networking, love to hear in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you again in the next video. Bye.